Hello everyone, my name is Miranda. I'm here to share the story of how my daughter and I sought revenge against my husband. The trouble centers around a major company that my husband used to own. I say used to because at this moment, neither is the company flourishing, nor is he the owner anymore. If you want to know how that came to be, follow this story closely. I have always been a hard-working woman. My parents were poor and took on the toughest jobs to make ends meet. I grew up in poverty and attended a public school, but I never complained. I worked hard and earned excellent grades. Upon graduating, I received an amazing scholarship for a business degree. My dream come true. It was while studying that I met my husband, Jordan. Like me, he was majoring in business, and we bonded over our shared ambition to start our own company. Eventually, we became close and started dating. He was an amazing boyfriend and later a good husband. After graduating from college, both Jordan and I landed high-paying jobs. However, once we got engaged, Jordan left his job to start his own company. Since he lacked the funds to launch a business, I decided to support him financially. Jordan, I said, I know you really want to build a company. I want you to follow your dreams. You can quit your job and start your company now. But I don't have the money, Miranda. If I don't work, where will the capital come from? Besides, I have to support myself. I will take care of everything, Jordan. With my salary, I can support both of us financially. I'll use my savings so you can start immediately. You don't have to worry about anything. Really, Miranda? You'll do that for me? God, I am so lucky to have you. I was serious about supporting him, and I did much more than that. For over 25 years, I worked for his company without having any stake in it. It was entirely his. I helped him financially and sacrificed my savings while he was building his empire. I even helped out at work after finishing my own job. Through my networking efforts, I provided Jordan with a significant clientele. He managed the internal team and daily operations, and gradually, the company became successful. I quit my job and took a position at his company to help him out. Together, we made our dream come true. We were happy, both professionally and in our married life. However, things didn't stay that way for long. The trouble began when I gave birth to our daughter, Mona. I could tell that Jordan was disappointed. Jordan, what's wrong? You don't seem very happy. It's not important, Miranda. It's just that I wanted a son. I was hoping for an heir for my company. Our daughter can be your heir, Jordan. We're both here to guide her. She'll be perfect. Don't worry about this. Jordan didn't argue further, but I could tell he wasn't convinced. Despite my best efforts to alleviate his concerns, they never went away. Things got even worse when his sister gave birth to a boy named Taylor. Jordan was thrilled and spent a lot of time with him. While I was happy that he finally got to do boy things with someone, I never imagined he would end up neglecting our daughter because of it. Whenever Mona and Taylor got into trouble, Mona always received the scolding. Jordan and his sister dismissed Taylor's actions with boys will be boys. I had numerous arguments with Jordan about it, but he saw nothing wrong with what he was doing. One day, Mona came to me and asked, Mom, why doesn't Dad love me? Is it because I'm a girl? Mona, dear, why are you thinking like this? That's not true at all. Your dad loves you very much. But Taylor said Dad doesn't love me. Dad likes him better. He plays with him all the time and gives him lots of attention. Darling, Taylor isn't telling the truth. Don't listen to him. Your dad loves you, Mona. Just then, Jordan and Taylor walked in, holding hands and smiling at each other. For some reason, it made my heart go cold. Taylor approached us and said, I'm not lying, Miranda. Jordan does love me more. He's told me that many times. I just told Mona today. Taylor, that's a very mean thing to say. Jordan loves both of you. There's no reason to hurt Mona like that. Stop scolding him, Miranda. He's just a boy. He loves me and doesn't want to share. There's no reason to scold him. He said nothing wrong. I do love him a lot. Mona needs to be less sensitive about everything. Yes, Jordan comforted Taylor instead of our own daughter. Mona cried silent tears while holding onto my dress. From that day, I started to resent my husband little by little. We fought a lot over his favoritism, but he never listened to me. I stayed with him because of my daughter. Despite everything, Mona loved her dad and wanted his undivided love. She worked hard to earn it, always telling people that her dad was her idol and role model. Sadly, Jordan never valued her immense love for him. Years passed and the favoritism never stopped. Mona tried even harder to impress her father. She was a good kid with great grades and never received any complaints from school. However, Taylor was a spoiled child who constantly looked down on people, yet in my husband's eyes, he was always the better one. When Mona graduated from high school and wanted to pursue a business degree, Jordan didn't pay much attention. However, when Taylor asked us to fund his business degree, he jumped at the opportunity and paid for it entirely out of our pocket. Mona managed to graduate from college and secure a good job in my husband's industry. Meanwhile, Taylor dropped out and spent his time and money on video games. Instead of reconsidering his stance, Jordan gave Taylor a job at our company, but he never offered Mona a position. Taylor wasn't a stellar employee. He often slacked off, making others, including Jordan, do his work. Seeing all this, Mona was heartbroken yet determined to win her dad's approval. I also worked hard at the company, striving to make it successful and leave a legacy for my daughter. Never in my wildest dreams had I imagined that my efforts would go in vain. When Jordan and I were in our 60s, he suddenly decided he wanted to retire and spoke about handing over the business soon. In my mind, I thought Mona would inherit the company as our daughter and legal heir. However, that never happened. One day, Jordan came home from work looking very happy and called Mona over, saying he had something important to discuss. I thought he would finally ask her to take over the company. Instead, he announced something despicable with a grin on his face. "I transferred the business to Taylor today," he said. "We signed all the papers, and he'll be taking over the company next month. I wanted to let you both know." "You have to be kidding me. You gave our company to Taylor. Are you insane? You never even discussed this with me. And what about Mona? Did you actually overlook your own daughter? Mona is a woman and can't handle the hardships of running a business. She's not fit for the company. Taylor has been with me for a while and is more suited, so I made this decision." "God, you gave the company to Taylor? He can't even handle basic tasks. I've been working in this sector for a long time, and you think I'm unworthy?" "Taylor isn't a pro at this yet, but he'll learn. He's a man, so it won't be difficult for me to groom him for the role. It would have been impossible for you even with experience." "How dare you say that, Jordan? I'm a woman, and I helped you set up this business. I spent 25 years of my life supporting you and this company. You've overlooked my feelings as well." Jordan's blatant sexism and disregard for both Mona's and my contributions were the final straws. It was clear he would never see us as equals, and I knew I had to do something to change the course of our lives. "Look, Miranda, I'm grateful for your help, but this company is in my name. Only I have the right to decide what happens to it. My decision is final, and everything is set. There is no room for arguments." I was reeling from Jordan's words. It felt like my entire world had come crashing down. I had spent half of my life working tirelessly for the company, all for my family and in the hope that one day, my daughter would inherit it. Jordan disregarded everything and handed the company to his nephew. I should have seen this coming, but I was naive enough to believe Jordan wouldn't do it. I was wrong. He casually handed over our blood and sweat to his nephew, a complete loser who couldn't hold a job. Mona was also exceptionally heartbroken. She had spent years trying to earn her father's approval and worked hard to prove she was capable of handling the company's affairs. Jordan wiped out years of her hard work with a single decision. We were completely cheated out of our fair share, and it felt surreal. Jordan's nonchalant attitude only made things worse. That night, Mona came to me alone and broke down in tears. Seeing her in pain crushed me inside. Anger started to bubble up in my heart, and I made a plan. I was going to destroy Jordan's business. I would get my revenge against him for me and Mona. I encouraged my daughter to start her own company in the same industry. "You need to make use of your skills and open your own company," I said. "I know you have learned a lot over the years. Your experience will help you immensely. You don't need Jordan's company. You will make your own. I will help you as I helped him." "Mom, I'm not sure," Mona replied. "I mean, I always did everything under your guidance. How can I be confident about a new venture?" "Mona, you are a pro now. I have full faith in you. Your dad only became so successful because I invested money and helped him navigate business decisions. Without me, he wouldn't have secured so many clients." "But will it be okay to go against Dad? I know if I start a new company, many clients would leave him. Won't you be mad at me? You did put a lot of effort into Dad's company. I know it's like your baby." "You have my full support, Mona. Your dad used us to build his clientele. If he doesn't care about our feelings, you don't need to either." I could tell that slowly. I was getting through to her. She was super upset at her dad. feeling used and discarded simply because she was a woman. The fact that Taylor gloated about taking over the company also fueled the fire. Since Jordan gave away the company without consulting me, I was going all out to destroy him. I would help my daughter become even more successful than her father. I also knew that I would divorce my husband. However, that would have to wait. First, I needed to help Mona set up her company. Since retiring, Jordan rarely paid any attention to this company. He was content banking on his shares and enjoying the fruits of my labor. Mona had also stopped speaking to her father, and I rarely interacted with him, so he had no idea Mona had even opened a new company. Gradually, word spread about Mona's company. I shared what Jordan had done and why I was supporting Mona instead. People were shocked by Jordan's blatant favoritism and became reluctant to do business with him. Additionally, they were skeptical of working with Taylor, given his lack of experience. When they heard I was helping Mona run her business, they preferred to work with us. As I mentioned before, all these clients had joined our old company due to my efforts. Jordan's company started losing clients at an alarming rate. He was confused about why his shares were dropping rapidly. When Taylor frantically informed Jordan about what was happening, he finally came to his senses. Mona has started a new company, Jordan, Taylor said. She is competing with us now. She's the reason we've lost so many clients. You need to do something. What? That's impossible. Mona can't open a business. She is a woman. A woman cannot just open a big business and become successful like that. No, Jordan, it's true. Your daughter has opened a company. Look at this. Our clients have mentioned they no longer want to work with us because Miranda left and is supporting Mona instead. Some clients even said their colleagues mentioned that Mona was way better at the job, so they decided to leave as well. No, that's impossible. This is a man's job. How can they rely on Mona so much? She can never be as good as me and you. She's not a man. You might want to rethink that, Jordan. As you can see, Mona is doing much better than you, even though she just started. Plus, you keep forgetting one thing. It was me who helped you get more clients. So it's natural you will lose them if I start supporting someone else. How can you do this to our company, Miranda? We built this together. Don't you have any remorse for destroying us? Stop saying us, Jordan. Even after I helped you build the company, you overlooked me and gave it to Taylor. You never once consulted me about your decision. Now he can figure out how to save your company. I said that and immediately left. They kept calling for me and asking me to talk, but I didn't listen. While Taylor and Jordan were busy discussing what they could do, I packed my bags and left for my daughter's house. She knew about my plans to divorce Jordan and was supporting me. When I arrived at her house, she already had a room prepared for me. When Jordan noticed I had left and taken some of my things, he started blowing up my phone. First, his messages were filled with demands for me to come home, then with rants about how I was destroying his life and hard work. I read every message but didn't reply. I didn't answer his calls or respond to his voicemails. A few days passed and Jordan didn't come to Mona's house to talk things out with us. Instead, he was busy trying to use his brains and do some damage control at his company. However, he soon realized that it was too late. Even employees started to quit since Mona's company offered better pay and guaranteed a steady cash flow from her growing clientele. Many high-ranking employees left the old company and joined us instead. About 2 weeks later, Jordan did show up at Mona's door just after my lawyer had served him with divorce papers. He came and said, "Miranda, Mona, please don't do this to me. I am your family, and so is my company. Have some mercy on me. Mona, I have no problem with you starting the company, but please don't take away my clients. We will go under if you don't stop." "Why should I care about you and your company, Dad?" Mona replied. "You made it clear that I was not a part of it. And you made it clear I was no part of it either," I added. "You don't get to come here and make demands, Jordan." "Look, I know I messed up, but I only did what I thought would be best for the company," he pleaded. "And that meant handing over your power to your useless nephew who doesn't have any concrete knowledge of running businesses." "That makes total sense, Dad," Mona retorted. "You made it clear back then that I didn't deserve the company because I was a woman, and you ignored Mom's perspective on this because she is a woman." "I'm sorry, Mona. Please, guys, just tell me how I can make this right. I don't want to divorce Miranda. Mona, I don't want to destroy our relationship. I love you guys." "Those are lies, Jordan. You are only here because of your company. If you had even a little respect for us and our hard work, you would never have gone behind our backs." Hell, even 2 weeks ago, you said it's impossible for Mona to have a successful company. The joke's on you, Dad. With Mom's help and my skills, I'm all set to have an even bigger and better company than you guys. Please don't do this. Fine, if you want to destroy Taylor and the company, then go ahead. I guess I deserve that, but please don't abandon me. I need you guys. You are my family. There is no use crying now, Jordan. You made your choices and we made ours. We don't have to have any kind of relationship with you. We are done, Mona said, outright disowning her dad and kicking him out. Jordan begged and pleaded, but we didn't hear him out. He had lost all his chances and wouldn't be getting another one. Both Mona and I were heartbroken over what had happened. It was a big blow, especially since the betrayal came from the one closest to us. Months passed and neither Mona nor I relented. I divorced Jordan and ended up getting the house. Meanwhile, Jordan chose to keep the company, still holding on to the hope of restoring his reputation and clientele. I knew the business better than him and could tell that it would never stand again. Taylor was a lousy boss with no business sense. All he did was shout at his employees and lay down inhumane rules. There were numerous complaints about the internal workings of the company, and many people left their jobs. Currently, it is standing on a very shaky foundation, and the future looks bleak. Jordan begged me and Mona to stay in touch. Mona outright told him that he was no longer welcome in her life. I stopped speaking to Jordan long ago, but he still tries to reach out. Mona and her fiancé have taken over their company, and everything is running smoothly. I am still a major investor and own many shares, so I am set for life. I plan on retiring and buying a house by the beach in a few years. For us, the future holds a lot of promise, while Jordan and Taylor are stuck in the ruins of the past.